All right, what's going on, guys? Back again with the big lifted excursion. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I got this ladder right by there and there's the rack up there. Well, because I went ahead and picked up this thing. It's a ladder rack, and I picked this up obviously again locally, and you guys are probably gonna think I'm an idiot for paying $900 for this thing. Yes, you heard me right, I paid $900, but it came with a truck, so I got a free truck with it. That's why. But I am going to use this for this thing, because every roof rack that I saw, they were so expensive and they were not even big enough for this thing. So when I saw this thing, and I kind of went over the measurements and stuff, this thing's actually made pretty well. And the ideas that I have for this thing, I think I can work with this. So I did went ahead, and here's some photos. I already put it up there one time, and that's what it looks like, but it's kind of ugly looking that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and chop it down a little bit, get it down to size, and it extends out a little too much in the front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this 1 foot piece out, which is conveniently done here. I kind of applaud the people who designed this, so you can actually make this thing shorter. So once I take this out, I'm going to mount it back up. I'm gonna cut the legs down short, and we'll see how it fits. And later on, I'm going to go ahead and put a mesh on top of this and make it into a platform. And I got a couple of ideas, you know, the way I want to go with this. But I mean, better than spending $600-700 on a roof rack for this big ass excursion. So I think this will work a lot better, and I'll see if I can learn a thing or two about fabrication or even welding too, because I'm thinking about, you know, starting to weld some stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll shorten this up first, and then we're gonna cut off the legs and see how it looks. Alright guys, so I'm gonna do a little recap on the stuff that I've done to this already. Now let's move over here. There were 4 legs, which I cut down and kind of grinded this down. I'm going to smooth this out a little more. Took off another one there, so these things kind of sat like that. I was gonna keep a little bit of it, but then I just decided to just cut them down all the way down, and then whatever was left over, I took these parts off because I did cut them short at first. And I'll post a video, or actually a picture I should say, what it looked like with these legs on. And I mean, to me it just looked a little weird, these sticking out from the side. So this way I'm pretty sure it will look a lot cleaner once, you know, it gets smoothed out and painted. So I've done that, and at the end, as you guys can see, I haven't finished the smoothing out of these parts. And obviously I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up at the end. Once everything's all set up and done, I can go ahead and, you know, paint this thing like a matte black or something. Now the end parts, I did take off a piece at first, like let's say this piece was at the end here, and I did cut this down to kind of match that leg. But now, you know, when I look at it, I think I'm better off just cutting it from right about here, or maybe right here, and capping it. So I'm still kind of deciding on that, seeing that this is gonna sit almost flat on top of the crossbars, and I will show you guys where those are gonna sit. So next thing we're gonna smooth this out, then I'm gonna go ahead and mount it up on the up on the truck. And now, since I'm doing this job anyway, coming up here, I took off the tracks and everything from the crossbars, and as you guys can see, I mean, the paint is chipped up here. So before putting that thing on, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down a little bit, get it all roughed up a little, and then just give it a white paint. I mean, I'm not a professional, you know, painter, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and do that. But I did, believe it or not, try my painting skills with that truck that this came with, that free truck that I got with this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you a few pictures. Now, this is what the truck looked like when it came to me, with the rack on it. Took the rack off, did a little sanding, kind of cleaned out some of the paint, and just went ahead and painted it flat black. Actually, it was kind of like semi gloss, and cleared it. And 3 days later, this is what I did with it. Yep, sold it in 3 days. So that's why it's taking me a little bit longer to kind of make this video on this and work on this. So I did kind of, you know, made some money off of that, and pretty much this thing is free and I can do whatever I want, and I made a good profit on the other trucks. So I mean, things like that, whenever it comes by, I just kind of go ahead and do what it needs to be done. And you know, we might do some more of those, you know, do some flipping. But other than that, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off, and we'll go put it back up there on the truck and see what it looks like. Alright, so this was the front. I kind of went over these again, and the back was the one that was kind of sticking out. I hadn't done it. A little smoother now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go over it with a little bit, maybe sandpaper, some harder grit sandpaper, or even just, you know, wire brush or something. So both of the sides are done. This was my mistake. I made a deeper cut than I needed to when I took off that leg, but whatever, not a big deal. But pretty sure I'm gonna cut this piece off. Now that I look at it, it's gonna have to come off, because if this is gonna sit lower, it is actually upside down right now, so once it flips over, then this will stick out. So I'm just thinking about just cutting it right here to kind of match this, and maybe later on, once I put the mesh, or, you know, cover this up, maybe I can just cover this thing with just mesh cover. So yeah, let's I'm gonna go ahead and cut this piece off too, and we'll go ahead and size it up. Alright, so nice clean cuts. It's about 3 inches off. The end piece will go there, the one that's laying down there, that's gonna go over here. And then we'll just find a couple of caps for these. There's that one side, and there's the other. I think I got it down pretty straight. So now we're gonna go ahead and flip it and kind of set it down on the ground and see what it looks like. Alright, so I got this thing down. I put the track where it goes on top of the roof. and the crossbar right there. So pretty much it's going to sit right on top of these crossbars. Straighten that out. Obviously it's not centered, but you guys get the point. So this is what it's going to look like, and these will be mounted on the roof of the car or the truck. These will be basically, there's these clips that just clip onto there on the track so it doesn't move anywhere. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to just mount this on these, so just have some kind of a clamp, like, you know, maybe an upside down U to grab on, you know, like hold on to that. And I'll probably put one here, one in the center, and one on the other side. Same thing with the front. Seeing that this thing is wider than the track, it would have been nice if these would have lined up to pretty much these tracks right here. That way I could have just put a screw or a bolt right through there and mounted it directly onto the roof. So I'm still kind of debating of, should I just make it so it's easily removable, or just mount it completely so that you really have to unbolt when you're taking this thing off. But looking at the size and everything, I'm pretty happy with the size, how it came out. And I mean, you guys saw the photos. It actually covers the whole top of the Excursion, from the windshield all the way back to the gate. And the gate will freely open. There's not going to be any thing in the way of it. So I already measured those. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So all right guys, so I managed to get this thing up there. I had some help. This is what it looks like once it's up there. And like I was telling you guys, it fits directly above the line. I guess it gives it about a couple of inches, 3 inches from the windshield, and it goes back right up to there. And I'll get a view of the top for you guys in a second once I get my ladder up. So I am planning on putting a couple of, maybe one long light bar, maybe a 30-inch or so, and a couple of pods up top. I'm gonna wire those up right now. I mean, once I have the mesh and everything down, drill some holes for that. So just wanted to give you guys an idea. This is what it looks like. Now let me get up here and on the ladder and show you guys what it looks like from up top. All right, so this is what it looks like, covering the whole thing, and it's going to be mounted on those crossbars right there. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the either the upside down U's with some bolts, or some nuts I should say, and all of the thing is going to be covered with mesh. And I think it will be a pretty good upgrade. I want to be able to walk on there without, you know, giving the roof any problems, so, or any dents or anything. But like I said, this video I'm probably gonna just end it right here. Next step, I'm gonna take all this down and I'll make a video on the probably spraying the roof with some white spray, some white paint, and then we'll get everything else done, the mesh and everything, and that's gonna be in the next video. So this is what it looks like afterwards. I think it came out pretty good, considering I pretty much got this thing for free after all the calculations were done. So I think it will look pretty good. And again, thanks to you guys for watching. If you have any comments, any any ideas that you can give me about which direction I should go. I mean, I kind of have my mind set on that direction, what I told you guys, but if you guys have anything different, anything better, just leave a comment down below and let me know. And I'd love to hear all the comments. I'd love to read them, and I'll try to respond, you know, to every comment or every question you guys might have. So again, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.